Hello, it's Leontine from Little Lovely Crafts. Welcome to day 6 of my holiday card series. I'm sharing a slimline card and on it I'm using some old and of course some new products from Lawn Fawn. And I just wanted to make 2 snowy owls and they are making a very special delivery. They're not only bringing snow, they're also bringing a gift and one of them is decorating the house. As you can see, the snow has just started to fall, so that's why the roof of the house isn't covered with snow yet. Let's get started. You could of course stamp everything separately and then just glue them together. However, I wanted to try something different, so I'm going to layer these stamps and see how it works out. There are a few lines here and there that I need to touch up, so I'm going to use a white gel pen and then I will just color over it with my Copic markers. For the owl, I'm going to do some masking, but I'm going to try and see if I can stamp his body right on the wings. It's a little difficult, so maybe if you want to get them perfectly done, you should do masking here as well. I, however, tried it like this and I just did the masking for the reindeer antlers. I thought it would be funny to dress him up as a sort of reindeer who's bringing gifts. I'm touching up a few lines with my Copic multiliner and then I will use my Copic markers to color the owl and the present. Since I altered the stamps, I'm going to fussy cut them and then I will use an Exacto knife to cut between the ropes. And I will use that tiny little die on the beak of the owl so he can hold the gift. Next, I'm going to work on the roof and I'm going to be using 2 gray colors because it matches with the Lawn Fawnatics challenge. And I'm using some narwhal and some storm cloud cardstock. I'm die cutting that cardstock with my slimline piece so I can have the same stitching around the whole card. And once that is done, I can use my roof, I think you call them shingles or something, I will die cut them a few times so I can alternate between the colors until I get the right height. And of course, I'm going to make a matching chimney. To make the bricks pop a little more, I'm using my N5 marker to color them in. The next step is doing some heat embossing with white embossing powder. First I'm going to work on my sentiment, and that's special delivery. Once that is all heat set, I'm going to stamp for Christmas, and as you can see I won't put ink on the home part because we won't need that. Once that is all done and it's dry, I'm covering it with a full stick post-it note because I want to make some snow on the background with Lawn Fawn Snowy Sky stencil. I'm using an anti-static powder tool to make sure that my embossing powder only sticks to my ink. And I'm just using a small makeup brush to get the ink really well into those little circles. And then you just have to put some embossing powder on it and melt it with your heat gun. Next, I'm going to wipe off my ink from all of my embossing that I did before, and I'm going to use a few different techniques. At first, I'm just using my microfiber cloth, then I will use a little bit of paper towel, and lastly I'm Next, I'm going to wipe off my ink from all of my embossing that I did before, and I'm going to use a few different techniques. At first I'm just using my microfiber cloth, then I will use a little bit of paper towel, and lastly I'm going to try something that I saw Kara do on the Lawn Fawn video, and she used a colorless Copic blender to go over all of those little white embossed pieces, and for some reason that picks up even more ink and then it's perfectly white again. But before I try that last technique, I'm going to attach the roof, the chimney, and of course the owl. And here is where I realized that my roof part was a little empty and I needed something else. So I came up with the idea to make an owl that looks like he's decorating some Christmas lights on the roof. I'm going to be using masking tape to get his wings to look a little bit more active. And I'm using the string of leaves from Critters in the Jungle to make some Christmas lights, because I do not have a stamp that will do that otherwise. So I'm going to show you how I altered it just a tiny little bit to make it more look like Christmas lights instead of leaves. Oops, I almost forgot to show you which colors I'm using, so I'm just placing my marker with the color numbers up. I won't be doing any shading because I will cover it up with some Nuvo White Blizzard glitter drops. I'm popping the owl up with some foam squares, and then I'm going to decide how I'm going to attach those strings of light. It took me a while to figure it out and I kept dropping it or putting it in the wrong position, but in the end I got there, and I used my Copic multi-liner to continue the line that the strings have on the wing of the owl. As I said before, I'm using some Nuvo glitter drops to add a little bit of sparkle to my card, and then it is all finished. You can see I've already put it on a card base, which is out of some narwhal cardstock, and I used fog cardstock for that scalloped slimline piece. And you know what this part means? It means my card is all finished. I want to thank you for watching another one of my videos, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up if you liked my card today, and I hope to see you next time. But if you're not done watching yet, I've linked my playlist for the holiday card series at the end of this video. Feel free to watch anything you like. And that's it for today. Bye!